friends, it's Kristine with Queen City Stamp Art, and today I'm back with a clean and simple card that will showcase some of the brand new products in the new holiday catalog that's coming out August 4th. So many of you probably have already received your copy in the mail, and if you haven't, you'll probably be getting it this week. It's a beauty, I'll tell you. It's a gorgeous catalog, and I will be posting on August 4th, I'll be posting a link to that on my blog so that you can access a copy, at least digitally, if you don't have a hard copy of it. But one of the product suites that's in there this year is this Poinsettia suite, and it comes, this is the bundle that comes with the stamp set and the dies, and it is magnificent. So we're going to be using this today to give you a little sneak peek of a card of what this product looks like. I'm also going to be using the pine wood plank embossing folder for this card. As you can see, there's some texture on the layer panel, and I used that pine wood plank folder to create that texture, so that was really fun. I ran that through my die cutting machine and dry embossed the texture on there. So we're going to be putting this card together today, and it's really a simple card. I think you'll enjoy it. It's going to be a quick video, but I just wanted to show you kind of how I did that and give you a glimpse of some of this beautiful product. So we're going to start by folding very vanilla cardstock, measuring 8.5 by 5.5. We're going to fold that in half to create the base card. And then I cut a panel of 4 by 5.25 of very vanilla, and I ran it through the embossing folder, the pine wood plank embossing folder. And now we're going to layer this panel onto the front of the card, just like this. Just like that. Now, some people think you always have to have a sentiment on the front of the card, but I think sometimes cards can be beautiful without the sentiment on the front. I know it's a personal opinion. Most of my cards do have a sentiment on the front, but I thought for this one we would just leave it plain and put the sentiment on the inside, and that way, you know, it really showcases the poinsettia itself. So another tip I wanted to point out, or another thing I wanted to point out, was that this is a photopolymer stamp set. So these are the clear stamps, which is great because in this case, a lot of times when I die cut, I usually will stamp and then die cut. But when I have photopolymer, because I can see where the image lines up, I don't have to stamp it first. I can actually stamp it after, which is sometimes easier, especially if you're making multiples of something, to be able to throw the dies and just kind of crank them through, and then you have all these multiples, and then to stamp them is actually very, very simple. You'll see I'm just going to kind of line up the image. I inked it, and now I'm just going to line it up over the die cut and stamp it down and kind of push it off of there, and it lines up perfectly. You get a beautiful impression and a beautiful image. And I'm going to do that with the smaller set of petals too. This is a really, really super versatile set. It has, in the images itself, it has a full poinsettia, or you can do layers of poinsettia. So in this case, we're going to be layering up 2 to make it look a little bit more dimensional, which is really fun. It also has different types of leaves, some pine sprigs, and several beautiful samples, in addition to some berries. So it's a very versatile set, tons of images and lots of options for combining them and doing them in different colors. And then we're going to do the same thing with the leaves. I'm just going to, I'm using cherry cobbler for the red. I'm stamping cherry cobbler ink on real red cardstock, and I'm stamping mossy meadow ink on old olive cardstock. And I'm just going to kind of line that up on top of the leaf just to give it a little bit of a stamped image on there. And then we're going to bring our base card back in and layer this up. So to give this card a little bit of extra dimension without using dimensionals, I'm just going to layer a leaf, one of the leaves here, and then another one on the diagonal, just like that. And then we're going to build the flower on top of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, and I like to rub the back of the leaf with my finger and kind of make it curl a little bit. So I just do a gentle rub on the back of the leaf and kind of pull it into a little curl, so it kind of curls over like this. I don't know if you can see that, but It just kind of bends it over, bends the leaves over. And this gives it a little bit of body. It kind of softens the cardstock and gives the petals some body so that when you lay them on the card, they're not perfectly flat. Now, of course, they will flatten out some in the mail, but it gives the whole design a little bit more body. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer these leaves on, these little berries on next by adding some adhesive here, and then just kind of sticking them down. And then I'll put a little bit more adhesive in the center and add the first layer of flower petals. And then I'll put some adhesive on the back of this. Oops. Like that. And then kind of offset the next set of petals, just like that. So it's really a simple card. And then to dress it up, of course, I'm going to use some of these wonderful gems. These are new in the catalog, in the holiday catalog. They'll be coming out. They have sort of this little like crunchy, glittery texture on the top of them. They're very pretty, and it's always fun to add new embellishments. On this card, on the original, I used the red version, and on this one, I'm going to use the clear version. So I'm just kind of putting together a small clump of embellishments right here in the center of the poinsettia, just to make it look more authentic. And it adds such a nice little sparkle on there. And like I said, and then you could always add a pretty sentiment on the inside. But I feel like this card really kind of speaks for itself just in the poinsettia. It doesn't really need a sentiment on the front. You could certainly add one, but it doesn't really need one. So that's the card for today. I hope you're excited about the new holiday catalog. And if you would like a copy, please leave me a note in the comments and we'll figure out a way to get you one. I would love to share it with you. My name is Kristine Vicente, and you can find me over at queencitystampart.com. Thanks so much for watching today.